fifth part, Polonnaruwa period and Nuwadewadawa and Sasandawa. Polonnaruwa, which was held in the 11th and 12th centuries, was established as a solution for the South Indian accusations at the Anuradhapura kingdom, the second kingdom of Sri Lanka, and great kings such as Vijayabahu I, Parakramabahu I or Mahaparakrambahu, Nisangamalla, as well as queens such as Leelavati and Kalyanavati reigned in it. However, in some periods of this era, there were many internal fights and external accusations such as Kalika Maga's accusation to achieve this kingdom. Polonnaruwa is the second period of Sinhala literature, and the two Kanda Kavyas, Sasadawata and Nuwadewadawa, are poems written in that period. Kanda Kavya is a short fragment of a larger narrative, often a poetic work that focus on a specific episode or character within a well-known story, in contrast to the broader grand poems or Mahakavya, which depicts the complete life of a hero or heroine. It is a short poetic work focusing on a single life theme or aspect. Nuwadewadawa and Sasadawata are Kanda Kavyas based on Mahadeva Jataka story and Sasa Jataka story, and the influence of descriptions of Sanskrit poems and the rhetorical features of Sanskrit are reflected in those two poems. The plot of Sasadawata is based on the idea of the Bodhisattva who was born as a rabbit in that bowl to donate his body meat by himself to a hungry beggar, and in admiration of this great idea, the drawing of the figure of the rabbit on the moon by Sakra, the main god. This plot is in substance to compose the narrative of a grand poem tradition, although some external descriptions presented following the Sanskrit poems were new experience to the Sri Lankan audience in that period. Those descriptions are irrelevant to the main objective of the poet, and the poet has been unable to combine the two traditions, Buddhist sermon and Sanskrit poetry, in this poem. The plot of Nuwadewadawa is the Jataka story Mahadeva. According to that story, the Bodhisattva was born as a king Mahadeva, one of his previous births, and he reigned with wisdom and virtue for 84,000 years after serving as a prince and viceroy, each for the same length of time. The king had told his royal barber to inform him it is over grey hair. When the first grey standard appeared, the Bodhisattva became fixated on his death. Immediately abandoned his kingship and decided to live his final 84,000 years as an ascetic. That day, he passed the throne to his elder son, gave a village as a gift to his father, and walked away from the palace. He cultivated the four perfect virtues, four noble truths, in his last days, and was born in heaven after his death. In this story, 84,000 years is symbolic of a long time. However, Nuwadewadawa, the short narrative poem of 164 poems, is more successful than Sasadawata. All the descriptions of it are centered on the main objective, which is the reflection of the contemporary political situation in an ironic manner. Because of the many internal fights by the kings of that period, Polonnaruwa was a bloody era, and in a period like that, admiring a king such as Mahadeva is an criticism of contemporary king as an irony. The poem described the city Mithila, the central city that established the palace of the kingdom of the great king Mahadeva, as a lotus bud surrounded by numerous petal-like cities. He has explained the great desire of the citizens of this kingdom on the night of autumn. The next day, in the morning, he woke up from his chamber as white as the sheen of night lilies, accompanied by song by royal eulogists. Maraminita kiwata Komalamutu Sirinji Nelamu Dalagaba Sasinidu Pahasada Saditu Sarabindu. The glistening drops of morning dew dotted the soft mid-lotus leaf dainty pearls. They were to view spangled like on a sapphire sea. Ravana Bamaragini, Mother Muhulu Kumuduhi, Pimbanakudu Sakla, Tobaya Menitu Sandal. The birds of the beast that song in might in closing battles of lilies of the night seemed to cause the king to walk as by piercing notes that conchas made. This is the screen. Okay. This is the English translation of Muadevdava. This is. After showing his great hair by the royal barber, although the king had firmly decided to go into asceticism, having abandoned the kingship, minister tried to stop him. The attempt is ironic politically. Ministers always try to show their rapport with the leaders. All their benefits depend on their political hero. This is universal truth, not only in the colonial era, but also in all the eras of the world. However, the king whose decision to depart the kingship was firm, laughs at ministers and says this. Manava Kannata Piopia Amattini. Hetawalakati Kauru Yuganduru Pokuru Dai. Abstain, hence, O you ministers all, from efforts to hold me in your control. It topples the Yugandhara mountain tall, who with the lotus leaf bud can throw its fall. The citizen's sorrow has been depicted like this. Muadev Uyanadi Naraditu Santa Sababia, Keremin men Mulunuara, Pininada Ratakulen son. The noble lord, his court abundant and stamping the city with dew spangled lilies of red, his steps he turned towards the royal park. He rest the spurn. The rest he spurned. Dew spangled red lilies are an excellent symbol for the tearing eyes of the citizens, and this is an ironic depiction compared to evil kings. After he went to the Sylvan Himalaya glades, the environment, the animals, and the others in the forest helped ascetic Mahadev to fulfill his meditation. The nymphs of the Siddha bands were silent, having stopped their dance, as Sylvan deities with clasped fingers read at their forehead. Saluted as he onward treads, deer, elephants, and other animals are calm. Heavy with blooming flowers, the forest glade bows to the king. The bees had blown softly and saluted the king. He enjoys the calmness of the environment, and the environment also enjoys his coming. Love and kindness pervaded that forest when the king spent his days in the Himalayas. The enemy animals were friendly and helpful. The vicious serpent ensconced within the glamorous peak of feathers to win their warmth. Seeing the toads sick and swooning, servants offer the parasols comfort to their hood. Although the poet Muadevdava used the Sanskrit poetic tradition, he was able to fulfill his objectives. The poet of Muadevdava is not clear. However, critics have presented 4 different ideas about that. By a monk, by King Sena I, by Vijayabahu II, and King Gajabahu II. Vinay Vitarana the translator, Vinny Tarana has accepted Modi Udawat as a reflection of contemporary political background, and he considered the poet King Gadibahu too. Sixth part 6. Theoretical books written in the Damariya period and Kausalamina, the question of poetry. Damariya in the 13th century is the third period of Sinhala literature, and it was a period of writing of many advisory books for poetry, including grammar, prosody and rhetoric. Siddha Sangarava, written by Anavadasi Thero, the chief monk of the Patiraja Buddhist monastery, is one of the important resources of the principles of Sinhala poetry. Siddha, Sanskrit Siddhanta, means the principles, and Sangara, Sanskrit Sangraha, means the collection. Therefore, Siddha Sangraha means the collection of principles. And the author has presented theories of grammar, prosody and rhetoric relevant to Sinhala poetry. The first 10 chapters of Siddha Sangraha discusses grammar rules, but those are not the standard grammar of Sinhala and are only the grammar principles of poetry. As the oldest theoretical book that discusses grammar, it has been used as a grammar handbook. However, starting from the alphabet, all the theories and examples of it reflect the language of poetry. The author has included only 30 letters of the Siddha Sangarava alphabet, although 59 letters have been used in the Sinhala prose books which were written before this period. He has not included Mahaprana, aspirates, and Samdhyakshara, diphthongs, because of their lack of use in the poetic language. The 11th chapter of Siddha Sangarava is an explanation of some theories relevant to prosody, and the last one, the 12th one, is a discussion of 7 types of figures of speech. Some figures such as Anyalaka, Virudaya, Ubabas and defects explained by Siddha Sangarava author differ from the rhetorical tradition of Sanskrit. The prosody to Kelsanas Tapu written by Bhadra Thero is a collection of the meters of Sinhala poetry. He discussed the Gi, Sivapada and Sahali meters with relevant examples. Sahali is the combination of Gi and Sivapada. Purman is a poetic dictionary, and Lakusara is also a book that provides a summary of poetic principles. Because of the rarity of poems in this period, those authors may have prepared those advisory books on poetry. However, the greatest Sinhala poem, Kausalamina, is a poem of this period. King Parakrambahu II, who reigned in this period and who had obtained the title of Kalikala Sahitya Sarvajna Pandita because of his expert knowledge of literature and music, is the author of Kausalamina, the best gem of poetry. This is the English translation of Kausalamina. He has written a Sinhala commentary for the Buddhist Visuddhimarga as Visuddhimarga Sannaya. However, Kausalamina is a grand poem based on sentiments of erotic and heroism. The poet has chosen one of the most suitable Jataka stories to write Mahakavya, the grand poem. Many Jataka stories are based on the Dhamma of Buddhism. However, the Kusa Jataka, the main plot of Kausalamina, is based on love and sex of the heroic character Kusa, the previous bhava of the Bodhisattva. According to the Jataka story, although Kusa was the empire of India, he was horrid and had a deformed nose like a pipe because of his previous sin. However, he loved because of his previous sin. However, he loved and married Prabhavati, the most beautiful princess of India. After this marriage, until her pregnancy, she had only the opportunity to meet his husband in the royal bed, which was a strategic convention. One day, at the water sport in the royal pond, Prabhavati was fearful having seen this shapeless person. she recognized him as her husband by his touch and returned to her kingdom with anger. In this situation, Kusa did not use his political power to stop her, and he also went to her city where he worked as her servant for a long time. At the story's end, Kusa could go his kingdom with his loving wife Pabavati. This love story is comparable to many universal love stories, and the poet has removed unsuitable religious features from the grand poem when he develops the plot. He has combined the descriptions of Mahakali tradition as well as the story's situation and incidents, characters and background. The author of Siya Pastakata has explained the features of Mahakavi like this, following the Kavya Darsha by Gandhi. Sagasiyo Mahakav Kimehi Lapun Vyakvat Patni Desa Asi Ho Namakana Ho Peratave. Composition in cantos is a long poem Mahakavi, and its definition is being given now. Its opening is benediction, a salutation, or naming a principal theme. Emese Viyana Puate Nan Puato Siva Pala Sabanda Ularana. It springs from historical incident or otherwise based upon some facts. It turns upon the fruition of the fourfold ends, and its hero is clever and noble. Nuwara Sairu Giriu, Sisihiru Uda Ganme, Uyandala Kiduni Mahan Avan Manadola Keliye. By descriptions of cities, oceans, mountains, seasons, and risings of moon or the sun, through sportings in garden or water, and festivities of drinking and love. Pelagum Divaganum Kumarunupat Padumen Matrudu Gamanyuda Ularana Udin. True sentiments of love in separation and true marriages by descriptions of the birth and rise of princes, and likewise through state, council, embassy, advance, battle and the hero's triumph. Lakulukulu Rasabari, Nature Numut Nomitara, Saginyut Savanga, Susada Pili Nanda Madavu, embellished not to condense and paraded all through with poetic sentiments and emotions, with cantos not too lengthy, and having agreeable meters with well-formed joints. Many descriptions from those have been included in Kausalamina under 15 cantos. Kusavati, Kusa city, Sagal, Pabavati city. The situations of their love and separations, evening, night and the morn, summer, autumn and rainy season, garden sport and water sport, war, symposium, sport and drinking party. And sexual combinations have been described in suitable places in this grand poem. According to Sinhala Sahitya Nagima, the evolution of Sinhala literature, the very famous and important critical book written by the modern critic Martin Wickramasinghe, Kausalamini is an excellent result of the usage of Mahakavi tradition and other rhetorical theories of Sanskrit. In some descriptions, Sanskrit grand poems such as Raghuvansa, Janaki Harana, Kumara Sambhava, Buddha Jarita, Saudaranama, Sisupala, and the prose Kalambari have been influenced by the poet. However, in his descriptions of war, symposium and royal harem are related to his own experiences according to many critics. Gabriel Tennakon, the great critic of Helahavula Association, has said that there is an inability to find symposium like the symposium of Kausalamina, even any Sanskrit grand poem. The symposium, sport and drinking party, has been included in the journey to Sagalpura, the city Sagala, by King Okkaka, the father of Kusa, to bring Pabavati to be married to Kusa. That day night, King Okkaka stayed at Sagalpura and he enjoyed himself with the young ladies of the royal harem of Sagalpura, the city of Princess Prabhavati. They celebrate this ceremony in an open place upstairs on a balcony. The poet explains the beauty of the sky, the joyfulness of the nearby environment, and the pleasantness of the sport place because of the moon's rays. He has also described the beauty of the decorations, behaviors, dancing, the place of the ladies participating in the symposium, and the beauty of the mansion. Mi kapur gurudumin sapu dunuke lambadun, maligiya maldam lal naranga bimbu hal. How like a vast dance hall for the young god of love. The cellar was when the blue smoke from the burning of honey camphor and the fragrant aloe wood diffused through the silent air and intermingled with the perfume of garlands of screw pine blossoms, champaka and red motifs of jasmine flowers. Many bowls of different shapes and size are filled with wine, and the mansion was akin to the northern ocean, fulsome in form. Desirous of honey wine, the enraptured king entered the cellar hall as a swan of elegance. Pamaliya kumutumhada kokuru netmin mihikala pium hal vil biji mihilol has. Desirous of honey wine, the enraptured king, a swan of elegance, entered the cellar hall, which in his mind become a pond. The lily blooms, the sweetest maidens, their dark eyes, the swimming fish, the flower buds, their chains of white translucent pearls, and the blossoms of the lotus, the jugs of wine. The ladies become intoxicated previously to the king because of their inability to drink more wine, and the king laughed at the intoxicated ladies' different actions. Natadases pilimini with kataka mihiman nagateta siniraja rajalada bisau siriha, raising to his lips a crystal cup brought to him by maiden reveler, drunk with honey wine, empty of the mead. The noble king did find it and found himself to smile in amusement of delight. Sakidala Mahanel net pilimimu with he, Pumutu Mateyonan Naranimu Sinen Viji. Espying tipsy ladies essaying to blow reflections of their eyes in cups of wine away, thinking them to be petals of blue lotus blooms, beguiled was the king and laughed with uncurbed delight. Kalakada kadavita sara sisimiku se heta, me kalado tativi kerasak asak naramu. A lady pausing to admire a reflection of the autumn moon in a stately bowl of glass, stayed and gazed with growing wonderment upon it, believing it was silver and not glass. He saw. The poet says that the glass of wine influenced the ladies like an incontinent lover because of the changing eye color to red, sweating of the face and tarnishing of their lips. Danavimen nuwanata rata uwanata sevilu, lavanata kalum beemen sirilada mi piya. By flooding the eyes of women with roseate hues and bringing to their brows beads of perspiration, dimming to paleness, the bright luster of their lips, the honey wine of lover of the maids replaced. The poet has described the love quarrels between the king and the ladies. In one situation, a lady gave wine glass that had increased the taste by putting her lips on it. However, the king could not get it quickly. Then the king tried to calm down her like this. Totamusi miye kiyaga topatudaga rakiten viyaka iti niditusi viyakal masipiya peu. The place your lips did touch the cup, I did not know. Point out to me the spot once more from where you drank. Address so courtly her displeasure she forgot, and placed upon his lips the cup for him to drink. In another poem, the poet says that the glass of wine was not enough for the king because of the reflection of the eyes of a beautiful lady. During the symposium, the king pays special attention to a dancing lady whose silk garment has been loose because of intoxication. At the end of this canto, the king goes to the royal bed with her and he has sex with her in the next canto. The character of King Okkata, the father of King Kusa, has been chosen for this sexual combination. In this situation, he is with another lady, not his wife and the mother of Kusa. This description, external to the Jataka story, is not the Buddhist tradition. However, it is the royal tradition and the tradition of the grand poems. On the other hand, it reflects the poet's open mind and forward thinking.